Majority of white people that said this is enough. We are standing up, and it's our time to do for others, to do for those that have been standing behind us for so many years and that have...
Hey lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda Strana. Thank you so much for all the love and support. To my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and also educate each and every one of us. You guys are the real MVPs. So lovelies, I came across this video on my For You, and I thought to share where Asian Americans are all out for their own, and also given the reasons why they are all quiet. So lovelies, I came across this video right by For You, and I thought to share where apparently a lot of people are all out to talk about how it's enough. That this is the time for them to talk about it, to stand up for people that have been standing up for them. Lovelies, I'm just going to roll the clip as well as some of all the stitches I was able to put together. Please leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. Please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment.
It was mostly white people today. White people. And I'm not an emotional person. I don't cry. I don't get emotional. I'm emotional right now because I feel for the first time ever a sense of hope to know that every white person out there is not racist, that not everybody supports Trump, because I'm here in Tennessee and that's how it feels sometimes. But today when I looked at those protests, I saw the streets lined with all kinds of people, but the large majority of white people that said this is enough. We are standing up, and it's our time to do for others, to do for those that have been standing behind us for so many years and that have faced so much injustice. Black people have been fighting for years and nothing comes of it. Nothing. They're exhausted. Hispanics can't leave the house. Anybody with brown skin is afraid to even leave the house. So to know that we cared enough today means we're moving in the right direction. And I hope we see this continue, that we stand by our brothers and sisters and fight for them and let everyone know this is not okay.
This is going to be a follow, unfollow, or block me type of a situation. And if you don't like cussing, this is where you want to click off. I keep seeing these videos from former Trump supporters about how they regret their vote and they've woken up. And then I keep seeing all these videos from independents and Democrats that we should be welcoming and be kind and be understanding. Let me say this with my whole fucking chest. Fuck no and fuck you, and here's why. I don't forgive you, and I never will. And this is where most of you are going to click the fuck off because you don't want to hear the hard truth. This isn't about one policy or one mistake, the way you're trying to make it seem. This is about a man who ripped the soul of our nation in half. While you stood by in a MAGA hat, he poisoned our culture. He mocked, bullied, and threatened anyone who didn't swear absolute loyalty to him. Like a fucking dictator. He stoked a rage inside of people that gave fascists and racists permission to come screaming out of the fucking woodwork. But that wasn't enough for you. You voted for him not once, not twice, but 3 fucking times. Now you want back in because something finally touched you? Because now your rights, your family, your life is somehow threatened? You didn't care when he said he was going to carry out mass deportations. You didn't care when he vowed to dismantle our goddamn government. You didn't care about the environment, women's rights, civil rights, or even fucking democracy itself. Simultaneously called yourself a fucking patriot. You didn't care about honor or decency. You supported a man who was brutally unkind, who hates the poor, hates anyone that's not white. And you called yourself a fucking Christian while supporting it. You watched this fucker orchestrate an insurrection, but that wasn't enough for you. Because you still showed up. Now, when the flames are licking your fucking porch, you want to come stand behind our shield? Same fucking snowflakes you've been mocking for a decade? Now we're supposed to welcome you? You put the bullets in Trump's gun. I want you to stay regretful. I want you to live in that discomfort every motherfucking day. The same way that every person you voted to hurt is gonna live in it. You don't get applause from me or from anybody on my side for pointing out the fire when you lit the fucking match. Don't come to us for comfort. And damn sure don't expect trust, because 4 years and a better Republican candidate, your ass is gonna vote red again. And even if you do vote blue, do not think for one goddamn second that you voting blue in a future election erases the fucking hatred and destruction that you have unleashed on this country. We don't need you to feel better about yourself. That's not our job. We need you to make it right. without asking for absolution. So no, you will never get absolution from me or anybody like me. You will get spun around and pointed at a fucking mirror. You will get it from yourself by showing up every goddamn day to undo the damage that you have done. By confronting your own community, by speaking out and standing up against the same spineless piece of shit politicians that you supported and helped put into office. You want to unfuck this nation? Earn it. With your actions, not your fucking words.
I gotta disagree with you, ma'am. You guys should watch our video first, and then come back to me. You don't want to block people out. A divided nation will fall. We had a civil war once. It had more casualties than any war other that we've been in. I don't want that. Blocking people out means they're going to just watch more Fox News. Instead, have a dialogue. I have several MAGA followers that are still following me. I'm sure some of them got rid of me. But I have several who follow me, which means they hear me. I want them to turn off their Fox News. And they're listening. It doesn't mean they turned off their Fox News, but maybe they considered it. They're thinking about it. That's where the dialogue is useful. See, if I just block them out, then they don't hear nothing but Fox News. Is that what you want? Like, if I say immigrants actually commit less crime than native-born citizens, they might listen to me. They might go look up the numbers. But they're not going to do that if I block them out. Because that is factually accurate. But they're not going to know that unless we're having a dialogue. So I don't believe that the correct answer is to block them out. Because I don't want another civil war. That's the worst war we ever had. Cousins killing cousins. We don't want that. It don't need to be like that. We can recover this, but not by blocking them out. But by welcoming them back in. Sure, they'll still be Republican. That ain't gonna change. But being a Republican is fine. Back when the Republican Party was normal. But blocking them out, you're building the bridge to civil war. I don't fucking want that.
Go watch her full video. I agree 120%. All of the, I no longer support Trump. Pound sand, you desiccated turd. No. I will never forgive. I will never forget. The MAGA GOP bullshit has obliterated what was once a semi-okay country. The world is now laughing at us. All of these over-entitled Americans, America's greatest. No, we're not. No, we're not. Trump and Trump's policies and all of the bootlickers who are following him have ripped everything to shreds. So, never forgive, never forget, fuck off.
They only voted the way they voted because it affects them. They voted the way they voted because they wanted to make life harder for the people they hated. The people they hate are the marginalized, the LGBTQ, the disabled, the elderly, the poor, the people of color. That's why they voted the way they voted, because they hate those communities. So if I'm on a live and someone tells me, which did happen, well, you're disabled, you're on SSI, so you should unalive yourself. You all expect me to sit at a table with somebody like that? You expect me to sit at a table? I will never forgive MAGA if my children We're not grown. I would not allow my children to play with children whose parents were MAGA. Never invite them to a cookout or a party. I want MAGA to stay on their side of the street, and I'll stay on mine. Stay out of my religion. Keep yours in your homes and in your churches. But no, I will never forgive these MAGA people. Ever. And no, we shouldn't welcome them. And people that think that when they tell others to unalive themselves or push disabled people off mountains, you think we should welcome them? You're just as bad, if that's what you really think.
You know, I had an epiphany today. There are white people in this country that would rather see the United States of America go completely bankrupt and burn to the ground than see a black lady sitting in the White House. We've always had racism. It still is really sad. The one good thing that came out of this last election was that we now know in our friends and family who is fine with racism and the patriarchy and the bigotry. You voted for the most unqualified, morally bankrupt, bumbling idiot who is stealing money in front of your faces, and you're fine with that because he's white. And you couldn't vote for the most qualified black woman in the history of our country. She has more intelligence in her pinky than I do in my entire brain. 249 years, we still haven't voted for a woman. The MAGA movement is Make America White Again. They see the white majority in the United States of America going away, and they're going to fight like hell to try to maintain it. They're going to fight, and they're going to fight, and they're going to fight, and they're going to push back. And the reason that we're still having these conversations is because enough people that look like me haven't been saying what I'm saying right now, because we sat on our asses and did nothing during the civil rights movement, during Jim Crow, during segregation, during internment camps for Asian Americans. Doesn't affect me. I'm good. If you look like me right now, in this point in time, and you're still going to hide behind your privilege because your family member wasn't snatched up by an ICE member, because your family wasn't redlined, because your family wasn't picked up at night for being the wrong skin color, then you're complicit in all of this. I don't give a damn if you like it. I really don't. Silence is complicity. Throughout the history of the world and our country, bad people have gotten away with so many atrocities because good people stood by silently. There are a lot more of us than them. And these senators that are going to vote on this bill, this big ugly bill, they created Frankenstein because they ginned up their uneducated white base to say that your version of white America is going away. DEI, CRT, trans people, litter boxes, Dr. Seuss, Mr. Potato Head, Bud Light, Nancy Pelosi, her emails, his laptop. We can spend 3 hours talking about the things that scare you. But the reality is your version of white America is going away, and it scares the hell out of you. Well, that's too damn bad. I shouldn't have privilege, but I do. And I'm choosing to do what's necessary. What we as white people should have done for the last couple hundred years. Use my privilege to say what needs to be said. It doesn't matter if the red team or the blue team sits in that White House. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because until this issue is resolved, none of this shit matters. None of it. Because that's what we're dealing with right now. is the original sin of the United States of America, white supremacy. It was designed in 1787 by plantation owners that owned black people like cattle, that designed it to benefit 21-year-old land-owning white men. You'll talk about the Second Amendment every day, but you'll be damned if you ever talk about the 3/5 Clause or Jim Crow or segregation, because you don't want to talk about history, actual American history. You want to talk about white history. Only the parts that make you feel like an alpha male. That flag that you worship, it's a symbol. You worship it as if it's a religion. But you don't give a damn about the people that the flag represents. I find it rich that every Sunday, you MAGA Pharisees, you fake Christians, go to church with your Joe and the Ho bumper sticker and your F Joe Biden flag, because nothing says I love Jesus like that. So many people must be turning to God because of you. And you sit in church and you preach, my God is an awesome God, and love thy neighbor as thyself. But you only seem to love thy white neighbor. You voted for the most morally bankrupt white man that's ever walked on the face of this country. But the black woman was just a bridge too far, because you didn't like her cackle, you didn't like her health care plan. What, she used complete sentences? She wasn't a bumbling idiot? She was educated? That intimidated you, didn't it? You want to know something interesting? I'm going to say what I'm going to say because it's true. If black women ran this country, we wouldn't be in this shit right now. We wouldn't. We'd be a hell of a lot better off as a country right now if they were. They're smart, they're intelligent, they're powerful, they're strong. And they put up with shit that you and I can't even imagine. Generation after generation after generation. And you still want to be a bigot and a racist and judge people by the color of their skin instead of the context of their character. You are the reason that America is not great. You are. Be better.
Seriously, lovelies, when I saw the first clip, I was like, okay, wow, this is it. Like, this is exactly what they were supposed to be doing. You know, it's so tiring that it happens to be, you know, people that look like me that have been the ones doing all of this work, you know, trying to come out there and show, you know, for people, you know, if pan-colored people, pan-colored women, you know, begins to show up, begins to like, to really from the bottom of their heart, to talk about these happenings, I believe that these folks will have to listen, because they have an upper hand. There's no point trying to beat around the bush as if they don't have more influence compared to people that looks like me and every other POC people. Like, they have the influence, you know, to change the narratives compared to people that looks like me. People that looks like me, other POC people might probably go out there to talk about it and they will get themselves arrested. But when pan-color people does something, oh, okay, everything is cool. Okay, let's just take for instance what happened during the April 1st. There's a match that happened April 1st. You know, so many pan-color people were all out. Black people were nowhere to be seen. And do you know what really happened? It was actually a very, very peaceful protest. The protest was so peaceful that they even were asking for a bouncing castle. Like, have you ever seen a protest that, you know, people that looks like me was all involved, and there is a need for a bouncing castle for children? But it happened in their own case. during the April 1st march, even the June march. They were asking for the bouncing castle because they felt that the protest was so boring. They needed a bouncing castle for their kids to jump around and play music. Everything was so peaceful. Nobody was harassed. Nobody was harassed. Nobody was arrested, and nobody was, handcuffed. Nobody was pew-pewed. Everything happened so smoothly. Like, this is to show you that they have a very big influence to change the narratives. That is why people that look like me are standing down. Let them do it. Let them fix it. They have the privilege. This is the time for them to show their privilege. This is the time for pine-colored people to show their privilege. They have it. They have the chance to change the narratives. They have the chance to make everyone's life better. That is if they want. That is if they really want to be a little bit of uncomfortable in order to make everybody comfortable. That at the end of the day, everyone is now comfortable. They have the power. They have the abilities. They have the privilege. Anyone that says that they don't have privilege, this deep inside of you should know that you are lying as a pan-colored person. There's no point trying to hide behind, white women. We are all taught to be quiet. We are all taught to just allow things to flow the way at which it's flowing, just because it's not affecting you. Then now you remember how you are being raised not to be quiet. You are being raised to be quiet. But you know deep inside of you that you have all of the ability to change the narratives. Yeah? I like the fact that they are beginning to get awakened. They are beginning to see reasons. They are beginning to see what people that looks like me have been trying to tell them for the longest of years. It is so tiring that, things keep on the way at which it is, and they're just being quiet because they feel that they are not being affected. But for them to keep on coming to show up, to actually tell the world that, okay, some of us still care, that shows how compassionate they are. And I must actually commend them for this. It takes a woman with a heart to actually come out and okay, we've had enough. And this was something that was supposed to be done even before the election. But, people never thought that things were going to turn out this despicable, Anyway, lovely listener, just leave me your thought in the comment section of what you think of this video. Please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We're just here for educational and informative purposes. So, lovely, if you would not subscribe to this channel, give your girl a huge favor to click on the subscription button. And I will see you, lovely, when I upload the next one.
Your own thought in the comment section of what you think of this video, and please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We are just here for educational and informative purposes. So, lovelies, if you've not subscribed to your girl, a huge favor to click on the subscription button, and I will see you, lovelies, when I upload the next one.